spent my first weekend in this garden almost exactly 20 years ago, pulling out forget-me-nots for my wine-writing mentor, Edmund Penning-Rowsell. The name's familiar to members of the Wine Society, of which he was chairman for 23 years, to readers of the FT, for whom at 84 he's Britain's longest-serving wine writer, and to anyone who cares about red Bordeaux. Claret, as he's always called it, has been his great love. Other than his wife Meg, whom he met in Hyde Park 65 years ago. How did you start collecting wine?
My first order to Avery's was delivered in the week that the Second World War began. And I used to get wine kept under my bed.
And did you always favour red Bordeaux?
It was thought that claret is the most interesting wine, and varied.
Yes, it does double a bit as a larder up at the top, doesn't it, this cellar?
Yes, because it's cool.
This is the ante-room to Edmund's cellar, after a big clear-out, when he reluctantly sold stacks of younger vintages. So, into the real treasure trove. Oh, Edmund, still pretty well stocked. Gosh. You've got so many 61s left. That's wonderful.
Well,
God.
so far, they're all right, mostly.
Let's see, what's this? 61 Latour. Pamal.
One of the best of the vintage.
Not bad at all. Well, you've got 3 bottles down here of 61 Petrus.
Yes.
That must be worth quite a bob.
I talked to Jean-Pierre Moix when we met, actually in Venice some years ago, and he said, that means you've got more than I have. He said, I've only got 2 bottles, and I'm just paying 20,000 francs for a 3rd bottle in Paris.
Gosh.
Yeah.
These labels are new. These, the big 61 and so forth.
My son did this because of my sight being poor, so I could see roughly what the vintage is.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to make a mistake, would you? Gosh, and 45, you see, that's 61, 45.
Yes.
The great vintages of
just a few.
the last
that's right.
60 years.
And Mouton, including Mouton Rothschild, which the Baron Philippe said would last until the 21st century, and he's obviously going to be proved right.
When was the last time you drank this 45 Mouton?
Can't remember. Some time ago.
It's one of the classic wines, isn't it?
It is, yes, and it is very good. Well, last time I tasted it, it was very good.
Heavens, you've got so many bottles of it. Oh, wonderful.
Well,
Wonderful, and the whole lot's wonderful. It really is. Well, it's a testament to how sensible you've been to lay down this lot.
I've always been a collector.
Yeah, well, it's a wonderful collection. With his cultivated country life, punctuated by visits to his London club, Edmund is a most unlikely hardline left-winger. His friend Cyril Ray used to say he was a conservative in everything but his politics. Did you never feel that connoisseurship was perhaps incompatible with communism?
I always said that I didn't think that the Tories should have all the best wines.
Well, I have here just one of your, how many cellar books do you have? 8, 6?
8 at the moment.
And I've opened it on the greatest, most memorable wine I've ever drunk, which was Chateau Cheval Blanc, 1947. And I see that you cleverly bought in March 1950, about a month before I was born, 6 bottles for 14 shillings and 3pence each. Now selling at £2,000 a bottle, apparently.
Ridiculous.
And then you go on, you had an awful lot of it, Edmund.
Well, I think, the greatest vintage probably was 1929. But of course, I didn't come to it until it was 20 years old.
That's right, you bought it in 1949 and 50 from Avery's at 22 and 6 and then 26 shillings. And you served the first bottle to Harry Waugh and your friend John Betjeman.
Oh, yes.
Very fine, rich nose, plenty of colour. But the expectations aroused by these were slightly disappointed. as the wine went away at the end and lacked sugar at the finish.
Well.
Anyone remotely interested in wine could spend many a happy hour nosing around Chateau Penning-Rowsell because it's stuffed with wine memorabilia. Edmund doesn't throw everything out. He keeps his special bottles, like 1904 Moet and Chandon champagne. And this is a Burgundy, a red Burgundy, La Tache, just legible there, something that sells for hundreds of pounds a bottle today. I think the vintage is 1911. See what he says on the back. And he says it was one of the finest bottles of old Burgundy I recollect drinking, and appearing half its age. Sweet, but not sweetened. Wonderful stuff. The arch right-winger Wagner is one of Edmund's unlikelier passions.
I hope the ladies don't make a trade at my funeral.
Over the years, you've constantly nagged me about buying each new vintage as it comes on the market.
I don't think I nagged. I can't believe it, that's it.
No, I think every year you say, you must get some, you must get some.
Yes.
What's the appeal of wine to you?
I think I don't think it's much fun drinking wine alone. I think really the opportunities for discussion about wine with a party, or small party, 2 people, is good enough. You can't get such pleasure, interest, disagreement.
Do you find it a bit bitter?
Meg always finds claret bitter, even in 29.
You had a lot of years to get used to it. Every dinner's carefully recorded in EPR's archives. He has iron rules about food as about everything. Cheese must be hard, meat must be unadorned, nothing remotely sweet or sour with his beloved claret. So Edmund, does this meal pass muster for you as far as your rules of matching wine and food are concerned?
Yes, yes.
Death to wine is one of your great phrases.
Yeah.
Horseradish
We're
sauce.
determined to pull this out of you, Edmund.
Yeah, horseradish sauce, yes.
Mustard.
Completely beyond the pale. Red currant jelly.
Red currant jelly. Ugh.
Yeah, that's right. Mint sauce, which I love.
But you wouldn't ever have it with wine.
Thank you very much.
Great.
It's nice wine, isn't it?
It is nice wine. Just gets better and better towards the end, doesn't it? That finish just keeps reverberating. We've had so many lovely wines around this table. Thank you very much.